Yeah, let's do that right now. I'm going to use a Buildship database, and so I'm going to go to MojiDB and let's go to support, and I'm just going to make this look pretty. And I want the ability to save information. So I'm gonna use an old workflow. Hold on. Okay, so I just have this old workflow that I just copied. I'm just gonna say support database, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. Support database. And no, I'm not going to elaborate on this. This is a different platform. Maybe in the future I'll have a Buildship course. In fact, I know I will. I'm going to do support query database. This is like, let me level you here too. Just selling chatbots, in 6 to 12 months, you're going to get left in the dust. Because people who take time to learn this stuff and are able to not only deploy something, but there's the idea of maintenance behind a deployment, right? So like I'm going to have to maintain my deployment and also make it better over time. And the ability for me to understand how external databases work and things like that are super helpful, because then I can take this and I can store it and use this database to refine it later. This stuff that I'm doing here, even though it's a third-party platform, it's Buildship, this is what differentiates you. The level of care and the level of insight, the level of data, right? And it doesn't cost a lot of money to do something like this. This is not expensive platforms, but it makes all the difference. All the difference. So let's take the request body, and I'm just going to say, let me delete this. Return equals success. Now you don't need to be like a coder or like a master, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be a master software developer or anything like that, but it is always helpful to understand these things, because again, this is what differentiates you. And like, I guarantee you go into like a Go High level group and say, someone help me with voice AI or chat AI, and you have a million DMs. Just because everyone and their mom has it. But being able to do a deployment like this in a really meaningful way, this is what differentiates, in my opinion anyways. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a post call webhook, so I can store post call webhooks in a database in Buildship. Let's go here, and under call settings, post call webhook. Let's initialize this, and let's check this here. I'll refresh the page. And so this way, I'm going to deploy it with maybe some minor changes to how it currently is. But over time, I'll at least have a running database of the information, so that I can constantly refine it and improve it, right? So it's a maintained in production deployment. So the only thing I wanted to really hone in on here is when answering questions, when actually let's narrow this down. This is a verb it's saying when responding to the user to ensure Haley uses the tool knowledge base for every response to the user in order to make sure she is up to date on information. I have a goal. You're required to use the tool knowledge base every time you generate a response in the support protocol section. Okay. One last test. And let's see if the tracking is enabled, because I didn't even notice that until whenever. Let me refresh this. Okay, so we are getting proper filling of information. Sure, the spelling's wrong, but I can enforce that in that information protocol. But everything else is looking awesome. But let's just here see if it can remember who I am now that that no track is on. Off.
Hi there. Thanks for calling in. Can I grab your name to make sure I've got it right on file?
You don't have my name?
Not yet. I just want to make sure I've got it.
I wonder, I'm going to check the cookies on this one just to make sure it's all good. Very cool. I do want to elaborate on this. So, I'm going to do that off camera. So we built out RAG from a recording. Awesome process, by the way. You can have your clients do it, whatever. We uploaded the doc to Supabase. We got a button widget on a GHL page for testing. And then we tested the RAG system and not necessarily refined the results. That's definitely an after thing. So this is looking okay for now. This is looking okay for now. And all of this is good. Okay, so I think one last thing is I'm going to put it in like an actual, in the platform, on a page in the platform, just to make sure that, because we do collect cookies, and just to make sure that that's good to go. Okay, so just on a blank page here, we'll pull this up and test this out.
Hi there. Thanks for calling in. Can I grab your name to make sure I've got it right on file?
Yep, it's going to be Jordan Williams, and Jordan is spelled with an E, by the way, so Jorden.
Got it, Jordan Williams. Thanks for confirming your name. Now that I've got your name, can I grab your email address in case I need to send over any resources?
Yeah, so that's going to be jordanwilliams@gmail.com, spelled the same way.
Thanks for that. Just to confirm, your email is jordanwilliams@gmail.com, right?
Yep.
Thanks for confirming your email, Jordan. Lastly, can I grab your phone number in case we get disconnected?
Yep, it's going to be 678-770-0213.
Thanks. Just to confirm, your phone number is 678-770-0213, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks for confirming. Let me save that for you. All set, Jordan. How can I make your day easier?
I am having trouble with calendar booking. I can't get my AI to book.
Got it, Jordan. Is this issue happening with voice or chat? And have you checked if the calendar data is coming back in the tool message?
This is in chat, and I don't know what you mean by tool message.
No worries. The tool message is where the AI pulls data from your calendar to confirm availability. Let me check how to guide you on this. One sec. If your AI isn't booking correctly in chat, the first step is to check the metadata on the tool call. This will show the output your CRM is giving. Sometimes the issue could be related to authorization or a misconfigured connection. And if everything else seems fine, try refreshing the setup, remove and re-add tools to the assistant, delete and resync your calendar, and reset OAuth if needed. Let me know if you'd like me to guide you through any of these steps.
No, that sounds great. I see unauthorized on the return.
Unauthorized usually points to an OAuth issue. You'll need to refresh the connection. Try reauthorizing your calendar tool in the settings, then test it again. Let me know if you need help with that.
You said reset OAuth. How do I do that?
Resetting OAuth is simple. Head to your assistant's settings, find the calendar tool, and disconnect it. Then reconnect by signing back in with your calendar credentials. This refreshes the authorization. Let me know if you hit any snags.
Yeah, I just see the calendars on there. Like, do I need to reintegrate the account, or like how do I reset the connection?
Yep, you'll need to reintegrate the account, remove the calendar integration entirely, then re-add it by signing back in. This will reset the connection and refresh the OAuth. Let me know if you need help navigating that.
Nope. In the calendar site, I literally just see calendars in here. I don't see anything about an integration.
Got it. If you're only seeing calendars listed, you might need to go to the integrations or connected accounts section in your settings. Look for where your calendar account, like Google or Outlook, is linked, disconnect it, and then reconnect it. Let me know if you need help finding that.
I see integrations under settings, and I see a little group that says reset connection.
Perfect. Click on Reset Connection under Integrations. That should refresh the link between your calendar and the assistant. Once done, test the booking again to see if it works. Let me know how it goes.
Give me 1 second.
Take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, we're good to go.
Awesome. Glad that worked. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I did have one question over knowledge bases and what file types I'm able to upload.
Great question. Let me check what file types are supported for knowledge base uploads. One sec. You can upload various file types to the knowledge base, including PDFs, PNGs, JPEGs, CSVs, and DOCX files. However, text-based files like PDFs are recommended for the best results. Let me know if you need help with uploading.
Okay, gotcha. So PDFs are probably the best.
Exactly. PDFs are the best since they're text-based and easy for the system to process and embed. Anything else I can help with?
No. So when I tested my knowledge base earlier on my when I was making a call, it didn't seem like it was understanding it.
Got it. If the knowledge base isn't being referenced during calls, that's expected. It only works for chat or text-based conversations. For calls, you'd need to rely on other tools or integrations. Does that clear things up?
That's perfect. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Jordan. Thanks for your time, and feel free to reach out anytime you need help. Have a great day.
This is great. That was good. Obviously a little refining, but that was like 90%. We're in like the 9th inning. I'm not going to sit here and refine all day on this video. I'm just going to get you to where we're at now. There is 1 or 2 more things I want to test. So the first thing is that I was recognized as a user here. And that, so I was recognized here. Oh, look, correct spelling. Look at that. And let's see if she recognized me again.
Hi there. Thanks for calling in. Can I grab your name to make sure I've got it right on file?
I may need to check the session ID on the button. I know the orb is crispy clean. The orb will remember exactly who you are. But I think I do need to check the session ID on there. Okay, that's a me thing. Otherwise, everything's pretty good. Yeah, the session ID thing's the only thing that I can knock that out tonight. On the orb, it's great. The orb works awesome. Orb remembers exactly who you are. I wonder if I test an orb in here, so it'll remember who I am.
Hi there, this is Haley from Assistable.ai. How's it going today?
Hey, do you know who I am?
Not yet. I'd love to get
I also am kind of testing with the other thing that kind of like sketches me out about it in here is like one, you need like a certain permission enabled in GHL for this to even like work. And then the other thing is like it's an iframe. It's an embedded widget inside of an iframe, and that just sounds like disaster. But that's okay. We'll work through it. We will work through it. Okay, so knowledge is good. This thing is awesome. I do need to probably reinforce this in a more tangible way. Also, side note, you can build AI in a day. Probably could have built this if I wasn't recording it and wasn't kind of doing all this like documentation along the way. Probably could have knocked this out in 30 minutes. But I hope like doing this like this is helpful and can give some resources. What's probably also helpful is like getting it to where it's at now and then taking a fresh look at it in the morning and reevaluating the prompt, because this prompt is good as far as like these protocols and the task framework, but I do think we could shorten this a ton, which I think will help not only with response time, which response time's good, but it'll help with response time and also help with focus. Like I think it's doing its job good now, but I do want to reinforce that knowledge base should be added. And you know what we can do is under the custom tool, we can refine this description here. And so what we can do is this is basically telling the AI like, hey, this is just a tool you can use to get information. But what I really kind of want this to do is I want to kind of redefine this to the AI. Gets information from the platform's documentation. Use this tool every time you respond to the user to ensure you have accurate information to convey to the user. Queries knowledge base for relevant answers. Gets information from the platform's documentation using RAG. Query. Returns, gets and returns. Accurate information from the platform's documentation using RAG via a query. Use this tool every time you respond to the user to ensure you have accurate information to convey to the user. Yeah, I think this also can throw it off. Use this tool to query a question. Oh, it's like, well, it did that, but I want it to query every question. So let's do that. And I'm not going to bore you with another test, but I think what we'll do is we will stop here. We're 2 hours into this. But I think from all of this is we built an assistant from scratch. We tested and refined the prompt exactly for the use case that we needed. And we used the voice lab to do it conversationally just to make sure everything was good. That's what the labs are for. We built a RAG system just using a template that I gave in some documentation. Easy enough. Where we can upload our own information. Hopefully that little hack about the Google Doc and you just being able to talk into it was helpful. It's a great way to write documentation that's accessible by an AI. I, for one, if you can't tell, don't like writing documentation. And so it's super helpful to just kind of talk into it because I like videos. And turn that into a PDF, and we embedded it inside of our own RAG system in Supabase, which is extremely cheap to use. And then we were able to put this in a widget and test the widget, which we were able to get accurate information. And everything worked as planned. Now, is this perfect? No. I'd say for what I wanted to get accomplished, it's like at 90%. And that's mostly because of the session ID. If this was like remembering exactly who I was, like the orb was, like this button worked like the orb, I'd be a happy camper. And but I think this did exactly what it needed to, and it gave me correct information. Probably will upload some more information just kind of based on support queries and things like that. This will be an ongoing process for this deployment, right? It's like any AI deployment. Any AI deployment you touch once and then it's gone, like that's a shitty AI deployment. But kind of just getting this ready for launch, because I'm going to put this literally in the platform probably in the next day or so. I think it's getting there, and then we'll use the rest for use cases that come up, because we also, remember, set up this endpoint here to collect information. So we are getting our post call webhook sent here. Look how awesome this is. We're getting our post call webhook sent here to a database that's inside of Buildship that we can reference later to build out basically an automated RAG system. And so as this database grows, we'll continue to audit it, pull information from it, learn from it, right? And we could do that all here in Buildship pretty easily. And so it's an ever-growing knowledge base that kind of trains itself over time with correct information. So you got your AI, got your widget deployment, got the prompting done and tested, and hopefully you got some nice pointers about prompting in there. I think that prompt is damn good. And you got a custom tool in there with a custom RAG system via Buildship, tested and deployed, all good to go. Everything looked great. It was filling contact information accurately. It was giving accurate information. And so I think this video is done. I probably will have a follow-up video like 7 days into this, just to kind of update of like how the initial deployment went and what changes I'm going to make, because I still think like in an AI deployment, this is what you're doing, right? This is what you're doing for people. It's not a one or done type thing. This is for a proper AI deployment this is like the first inning. Really, where the work begins is maintaining a database and being able to refine the AI over time. As like, for example, as our platform changes, an AI that would have been built for us 6 months ago would be irrelevant, right? That's how you keep customers. And so all of this, at the end of the day, the reason I do this 2 hours on video and all day, I've been doing this since 8 this morning. It's 3 a.m. We're almost 24 hours into this. The reason that I'm doing this video for 2 hours and I'm showing all of this is because I want you to be competitive. And with the tools and abilities that are in this platform, you have the ability to be really competitive, right? In 6 months, in 12 months, everyone's going to have a booking bot. Everyone's going to have a voice booking bot. It's boring and it's commoditized. I would even tell you, as literally the owner of the platform, if someone came to me and was like, I would build you out this right here, like what we just did today, and they charged me $1,000 to do it, I would do it. That saves me a lot of time and effort, especially if they maintained it, especially if they knew how to maintain it with like a database. I would pay a lot of money for that, right? And that's someone who builds AI for a living. Imagine someone who has no clue how to do any of this stuff. Just peeking under the hood on this they're getting their money's worth, right? So all this is to make you competitive, because it's a gold rush now. You can sell anything to anybody via AI. But when it comes to the enterprise deployment, the very high ticket deployments, the ones that'll last, the ones that you won't churn, and the ones that make you competitive, these are the things you need to learn. So I hope that's helpful. I'll see you in like a week.